What's up, everybody? Okay, like let's just cut to the chase. I'm gonna be all the way honest. I've never been this scared to be on video in my life. Like as many of the videos that I made and put out there, today I'm actually kind of camera shy, and I just don't know why. Actually, I do know why. It's because a few things that I want to say are things that I know I have to say, and I really just don't want to. Like I don't want to at all, man. Because I know the repercussions and the things you put in people's heart about the stuff that you do know you gotta say. You know that it's kind of gonna be on from there. So now one of the things that I did have to say is this. So last night, I don't know what in the world happened. I mean, I do know what happened, but it's just kind of hard to word it. But I went to bed last night completely stricken with fear. Fear, I don't even know if it is fear. I really don't know. Like I haven't felt real fear in so long that I don't even know if it is. I don't even know what to call it. But why? The reason why is because I'm sitting around here and I'm looking at everything in this world going on, and I'm actually putting the pieces together, and it just kind of blew my mind. Like, I know how people sound when they say stuff like this. I get it. People been saying this was the end for years, bro. Like that's one thing I know that everybody in this world is tired of hearing of, is Jesus coming back. I know that. Like like all throughout my life, whenever I heard somebody talk about Jesus coming back, I'm like, oh, yeah, everybody say that, man. Man, like, let's talk about something more useful to today, please. Like, that's kind of how I would think, you know? But what we don't understand is that we can never really predict what Revelation would actually look like. All we can really do is witness it and then grab onto it. You know what I mean? Like, let's think about all the wars and stuff going on. A lot of these wars that's been started, we really just can't come back from. Like, certain wars that went on, we could have just came back from. Certain wars that went on, it was just a war going on and it wouldn't affect anything at home, you know. Oh yeah, our boys are overseas. Oh, okay, well, keep them overseas, man. I mean, don't keep them overseas, but keep that mess over there. You know, we over here having a party. I mean, that's kind of how it's always been. But now these are wars that are actually touching the homes of real people that have real lives just like us, who have real jobs and make real paychecks just like us, who have real kids that they send to real preschool every morning just like us, who get on real public transportation and fly real airplanes to get to state just like us. You know what I'm saying? Who wear real name brand clothes and buy brand new cars and rent homes just like us. And if these wars and stuff like that are touching those kinds of people's homes who are really just no different than us, they just live in another spot, who's got the same type of economy as us, they just live in another spot, who have, you know, well built and put together cities just like us. Like if these kind of things is touching the homes of people like that, like, why don't we look at it as a bigger deal than what we look at it as? Them good likes, my phone did that. Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. I thank you for your phone malfunctioning. I just got like 50 likes. Hoorah. Oh man. But Like, why don't we look at it as a big of a deal as it is? Like one of the main giveaways to the end of times really just happened or are happening. One of the main giveaways to the end of times, the Jews finding their Messiah. That's a big deal. Like, don't y'all know that that is a big deal? Like, that's not just some political thing that took place that we can ignore like everything else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a bigger deal than gun laws and cryptocurrency. Like, that's a bigger deal than Roe v. Wade and all this other stuff. Like, that signifies some very serious biblical things. Even though the Messiah is Jesus Christ, I get it. You know what I'm saying? The Bible talked about it like this. It said this would happen. This doesn't disprove God. It proves exactly what he said was true. You know what I mean? But there's going to be things that happen over in the Middle East that signifies the end of time, and actually might not even signify it. It might be what could be wrapping it up, to be honest. Like, some of the things that take place is peace be made over in that area. One of the things that take place is that the anti-Jesus, I don't know if saying the word that we usually say it is actually going to get me shadow banned, but he is supposed to sit in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God, and he's going to defile the temple in that way. And the only one that sits in the temple of God is the Messiah. Okay, so where's the temple of God at? Like, okay, the Bible talked about a temple of God. Where has it always been? Over in Israel. That's where it's always been. Like Christianity and Jews, I mean, that's where our faith comes from. You know, our faith don't come from what people call the white man, you know, trying to control slaves. Like, it don't come from that. Like, it was here before that. It's just that a bunch of people that don't want to stop sinning, they always figure out how to slip past the validity of just following what Jesus said. Like, they always got to do some kind of roadmap in their mind to work their conscience around Christ. Oh, that come from the white. No, it don't. Like, that come from Middle Eastern people. I don't think. No, listen. Like, when I use words like the white man, I'm not saying that because that's what's in my heart about Caucasian people. I'm saying that because that's what people call it. And I'm trying to get you to understand a particular mindset in other people. So, like, please, like, you know, please don't take that offensively. I mean, heck, you might even hear me, you know, like, throw the N-word around a couple times if I get mad enough, even though I don't really do that, but still. And that don't mean I'm being, like, you know, like, racist towards nobody else or nothing like that. But I say that to say this. If the white man was so you know, like, if they felt so racially superior, why would they be forcing a Middle Eastern religion on anybody? Why wouldn't they just create their own? I mean, they did, which is Catholicism, and they still incorporate a Middle Eastern book of scriptures into that. So, like if it was really all about that, then that really don't make sense. You know, so it's got to be about something else. You know what I mean? And, like, for, like, the longest time, bro, like, we've been told about the end of days, and we just never really want to listen. I don't know if y'all know this, but they're literally talking about not printing any more money and just completely going digital. And whoever does not jump on board cannot buy or sell. You do know what that means, right? Okay, what talks about not being able to buy or sell? The Revelation. And he caused all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead. And who does not receive the mark or the number of his name and worship the beast will not be able to buy or sell. They will be kicked out of the economy, left to starve and die. Y'all do know that is a thing, right? Like, y'all do know that, right? Like, just because it happens over in China does not mean it'll never reach the US. Like, y'all do know that China is like the example of what the beast system is going to look like, right? But just on steroids, right? I mean, y'all do know that when the C-19er came out, y'all can put that together. The C-19er came out, and they put up all these towers everywhere. Y'all do know that that was designed to be able to collect information on everybody as everybody live and move and walk around. Y'all do know that, right? Like, I hate to sound like a madman. That's why I was scared to record this. I'm like, yeah, everybody gonna look at me like I just lost my freaking mind. But they probably already kind of secretly thought I was a weirdo and a crazy dude anyway. So let's just listen to what the weirdo gotta say. He says some interesting stuff, some very thought-provoking stuff, but, you know, who's to say? You know, I mean, don't take my word for nothing, for real. I mean, just go back in the scriptures and see if it's true. And then after you do that, look around at the current events going on and then see if that's true. And then after you do that, pray to God and see and ask him to make himself true in your life and see if that ever comes true. I dare you to do that. I bet you'll never come back from it. Like, dead serious. Never. But most people won't, because they got something in this world that they still want to live for. I had the fortunate enough ability to lose everything in my life. At a point in time, the Lord gave me a vision about me losing everything in my life. This was like 4 years ago. He even showed me exactly what I was wearing. I didn't know I was going to end up wearing the same exact thing that day. I didn't know. The Lord showed me a dream of the end of days and exactly how I was going to be moving and exactly how everything in this world was going to look, all the way down to the clothes I was wearing. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that at this time it was going to be my only freaking outfit because I lost everything. That is real strange. Like, that struck my heart with fear when I start putting all them pieces together. I'm like, oh no. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nah. I started thinking, like, just really thinking. Just imagine your kids going hungry because you going to heaven and choosing not to participate. Like, just imagine their voices, their tears on your couch with nothing in the refrigerator. And you technically on the run. Just imagine that. Like, people don't really put themselves in that real situation. Like, man, like, that would be scary. But you know what? God is good. Like, he fed people in the wilderness. He sent birds to feed them. He did. He sent birds to feed the prophets, bro. The stingiest birds to bring food to somebody. Nuts and berries and whatnot. Maybe a loaf of bread or something. If God can do that, we shouldn't fear these times. The only reason why I was stricken with fear is because putting all the pieces together really caught me off guard. I'm like, uh-oh. And I was instantly moved. I was paralyzed in my seat with fear. paralyzed in my seat, couldn't even move. And then something was like, don't you do it. It's gonna be alright. I promise, I prepared you for these times. The reason you lost everything is because I wanted to make sure nothing in this world was going to hold you back to trying to go back to business as usual, sticking your head in the sand, assuming we got more time than we got. I don't want nothing, bro. Not a thing. I don't want nothing. Like, there was a new saying that came out from the world elites, you know, the world elites. And they were saying, you will own nothing and be happy. Why? How will you own nothing and be happy? How is that? Because most of y'all are going to be condemned to living in a virtual world, being a battery for this system. I would rather be dead than a slave, I promise you. Every time I think about possibly being a slave, man, just imagine being a slave on a plantation. Like, just imagine you. Like, no, you can't get me to do that. Like, you might have been able to get them to do that, but not me. I would run and take a bullet to the head before I pick anybody's cotton. I would. I would hate to want to watch myself die inside every day. I'd rather just do it once and for all. That's my mindset. I don't like it here. I really don't. Every time I say that, people think I'm suicidal. I'm not. Like, I'm very full of life, you know? I am. I don't like it here. I don't like the way things work here. I don't like the tax system. I don't like how our president can donate $60 billion to Africa and our country still looks like crap in most places where people live. In most places where people live, our country look like crap. Like, how can you do that? You know why he can do that? Because all of this is a game. All of these governments are nothing but a storefront for, like, the forces of evil. That's all it is. It's a storefront for the angels who fell from heaven to operate through other people. That's all these world systems are. Like, dead serious. Like, that's all it really is, man. All of these political agendas are doing nothing but moving people to a certain mindset. Y'all don't see that? It's moving y'all to an ungodly mindset bit by bit. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like trying to get full on corn, but you can only eat one piece of corn every 1 minute, just bit by bit. You just slowly but surely getting full. You don't even notice it. Or like the one thing when they put the frog in the cold water, and they slowly just boil the water, and the frog just get adapted to the temperature all the way until it's dead. It don't even know it's dying. It'll just look up one day and be, you know what I'm saying, be wondering why everything is the way it is. And that's kind of what we are right now, wondering, why is it like this? Why? Like, y'all didn't see all the stuff leading up to it years ago? All the little bits of things just leading up to it. And now we wonder why it's all like this? Like, all the stuff that we were manipulating into voting for, and didn't even know that we were being made to like our own demise and defend it if somebody dare touch on it. I mean, like, y'all never catch on to the patterns of how all these people that get elected make great promises and they do everything they can to be your friend. And then as soon as they get in power, they never fulfill exactly what it is you voted them in for. Like, at what point in time do people stop falling for games like that? Like, how come every time it's time to vote, we all get back in the voting spirit as if this ain't a game? Like, as if we didn't learn how big of a game this was with the last guy, and the guy before that, and the guy before that, and the guy before that, and the guy before that. Like, what the heck is wrong with us? Like, how can we really sit here and stay loyal to stupid things? And everybody is getting ready to walk into hell. Everybody is. Well, not everybody. But, like, I'm sitting back and I'm regretting certain ways that I spent time. You know, one of the biggest regrets in ways that I spent time was in toxic relationships. Wasted time on trying to what? Explain stupid stuff that won't even matter. Wasted time on trying to prove yourself to people you don't even know today. Wasted time on trying to do for people who you don't even know anymore. At what point in time do we quit falling for that game? Like, you got to have a different kind of relationship with people right now. You got to look at every single person as a potential distraction. You do. And you just got to have that relationship with them. You are a potential trap. All of y'all. Everybody. I won't treat you like one, but I got my eye on each and everything that is done and said, because people's words do sink in and corrupt your heart. Like, you can't let everybody have an ear. I don't care what problem they got with you. You can't let everybody convince you of being somebody that you ain't. You can't do that, because then they have you living towards a cause that ain't even true. They have you walking a path of life that ain't even meant for you. Like, you can't let everybody try and keep you loyal to stuff that don't matter. Like, I'm looking at certain jobs I worked in my life. All the time I gave it could have been telling y'all this so that you and your household don't have to perish. I don't get nothing from this. I'm not here for people to like my channel. Like, I don't care nothing about a stupid, like I'm not here to grow some ministry. I don't care nothing about a stupid ministry. I don't care nothing about a stupid YouTube channel. I don't care nothing about a stupid nothing. Everything's stupid. Everything. Man, what's wrong with that dude? I don't even know. I really don't. I'm hoping one of y'all can help me figure it out. Like, for real. Oh, man. I can't stay serious for too long, man. At some point in time, man, we got to throw some ice on that. Oh, man. Yeah, I see you down there laughing. But, man, I hate to sound like a broken record, but we all have to get right with God. All of us. We all got to figure out what that looks like in our lives. You know, don't look at the next person and see how they do. I mean, like, you can see how people are doing, but like, don't compare your walk with God to anybody else's, because you never know what your identity is. You don't. As far as I'm concerned, kings and prophets did not get along too well. Both of them were used by God. As far as I'm concerned. Kings hated prophets. Man, dang, they always got something bad to say. They don't never come around wishing me a new car in my future. Nothing like that. Y'all better quit letting them kind of people preach in y'all churches, man, or y'all gonna have to give an account to God. I'm dead serious. Like, y'all gonna have to quit letting prophets who's preaching good futures in people's lives, preaching y'all churches, because they are making the people go back to sleep. They are making the people chase their lives instead of prepare their lives for the fact that the end is near. Not just near, we literally walked into the end. Like at a point in time, the end was near. Now we're walking into them. Have you heard of the Book of Enoch? Yes, I have heard of the Book of Enoch. And the Book of Enoch is what I read and studied the summer before I got saved. The Book of Enoch is what answered a whole lot of questions about the things that I found out about the world and the people behind the world and how things are ran and why things work the way it does in the music industry and how certain sins got here and like what really happened with the fallen angels. Like like the Book of Enoch made sense out of every blank I was drawing about the validity of the Bible. Like I did not know how to believe in the Bible until after I read the Book of Enoch. I don't want to say that it's because of the Book of Enoch, but I do want to say that like that's what I was reading and studying the summer before I got saved. And that book really opened my eyes to a whole lot of stuff. You know, I was raised in church, but it never made sense. Dead serious. It never made sense. I tried my best to grow into it and like it. I could not. And there was a good reason why. And the reason why is because God takes books like that and he show you like hidden things that was preventing you from being able to see how real this was. You know what I'm saying? It does, because the Bible is confusing. And then something that I found out about reading the Bible is that you can't understand it unless the Holy Ghost told you how to read it. Like there was times when I would read the Bible before I got saved and it just could not make sense. And then after I did, I'm like, wow, for some odd reason I felt like I knew this. But yeah, like the Bible was very difficult to understand unless God himself was actually, you know, present and telling you what his word meant, because like you can be drawn into reading it like a storybook, and it's not a storybook. It's actually a manual. Most people, you know, take a long time to see it that way, but like it's not a storybook, it's a manual. And if you read it like a manual, it'll make so much more sense. You'd be like, so that's what they did in this kind of situation. So this is what I must do. You know what I mean? Or then like you learn things in reading the Bible about the character of God. So then you can have a better understanding of what he will and wouldn't do. You know, could and couldn't do, even though he can do anything. And then you can actually understand the things in your life a little bit better too. But yeah, the Book of Enoch was actually written for the people who were going to be alive in the last days. It said it, chapter 1. Chapter 1, this book is for those who are going to be living in the day of tribulation, when the wicked and godless are to be removed. A lot of people going to be like, well, I thought the church was going to be removed. No, we can be displaced, but removed is a completely different thing. You know, we can be, you know, temporarily somewhere else, but removed is different. The wicked and godless are going to be removed. And there's a difference between wicked and godless. Wicked never had God. Godless claim to and don't. You know what I'm saying? So those are two groups of people who are going to be removed. Chapter 1 in the Book of Enoch. Yep, the Nephilim is real. I kid you not, it is real. I can show you real documents of examples of Nephilim. All the giants were Nephilim. All the giants in our history, the giants that the Native Americans killed off, all the giants that was, you know, in Egypt, all the Egyptian pharaohs were Nephilim, pretty much. Most of them were. The pyramids weren't built by people. They were built by things that knew more than people. That's why we still can't do it today. I mean, like, I mean, bro, the list go on, man. Like like it goes on for real. I'm surprised Facebook didn't kick this video down by now. I've seen people permanently banned for saying a whole lot less. Dead serious. But yeah, man, like I advise all of y'all to read the book of Daniel. If you don't want to read it, just find an audio book on YouTube. Just read the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation, and it'll explain to you how these things are actually going to work. Because if you don't really know the information, then you're not going to know what to look for. Like, it doesn't pay to be a Christian and don't know what's in the Bible other than God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. It's so much more in the Bible than the 10 Commandments. Like there is. There's so much more in the Bible than let there be light and he made man on the 6th day and will a man rob God and all this other crazy stuff. There's so much more in that word than that junk, man. Like, I mean, it ain't junk, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. There's so much more in there than that. But yeah, man, I didn't even get to touch on this topic. The removing of physical money. Removing of physical money. They're talking about doing that this year. And that's going to mean what? Okay, let's put this together. Removing of physical money. If you're not with the program, you can't buy or sell. The Jews just claimed to have found their Messiah. That man is a very possible Antichrist figure. Because the Antichrist is supposed to sit in the temple of God. And the temple of God is supposed to be there. So if he's supposed to be the Messiah, then I'm guessing he's going to be the one sitting in the temple claiming to be God. Because saying that you are a Messiah is basically saying what? I am a God. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all that is. That's all that is, man. That's really all that is. And all these wars brewing up over there, he the perfect one to be like, this is how we fix this, guys. We got to kill the Christians. And they already hate Christians, bro. Like Jews hate Christians so much, bro. I mean, like the real radical ones, they really do. And for you to claim to be a Messiah, oh man, like you got to be a radical Jew. You got to be radical enough to think that we're the infidels. Like you really do. Like, I believe that if you go as far as claiming to be the top dog of them all, then you have to at least have 100% of all of their views. And plus, 50% more of your own. You know what I mean? So, that's all I really want to say, guys, man. There's so much work that needs to be done here, man. It's time to stop living on the God is still working with me excuse. Like, it really is. At what point does the work get done? Like, at what point is the work actually being done? Like, it's time out to be waiting around on God to work on you. Go lay your own body on the altar, and I promise he'll get to work instantly. Hardly many people do it in the first place. Why would he take long? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop waiting around living your own life saying God is going to work on me one day. No, he's not. I promise you he's not. And you know why he's not? Because you already know that God needs to work on you and you refuse to give him yourself. You already know what you ought to be doing and you refuse to give yourself over. Like, the instructions were to lay your body on the altar as a sacrifice to God, holy and acceptable. Like, those were the instructions. That's what the tithe is these days. Okay, you give him a body, he'll give you a life. Period. All you got to do is say, here, God, here's my body. I'm done doing whatever I wanted to do with it. I'm done going wherever I wanted to go with it. What do you want from me? And you want to know why that's so hard? Man, because we attach to so many things here that we know that we're going to have to grow a different relationship with. I'm not saying that you need to get rid of everything in your life. The best way to do it is to just grow a different relationship with it and see if you grow apart from it. If you grow apart from it, from growing a different kind of relationship with it, then forget it. You know, all your family members that you know ain't good for you, grow a different kind of relationship with them. You don't need to be at every barbecue just because they expecting you and your kids. If they want to see you and your kids, they can come over. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be at everything, bro, just because like somebody is expecting you. You don't have to go everywhere your friends want you to go. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go where everybody else is going. Oh, everybody gonna be here tonight. So what? Screw them. I mean, who wants to be hot and bothered anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to live the life that the people you with want you to live, bro. You really don't. Like, you just really don't have to. Like, there's so much here for us to do. Like, why do everybody need to bunch up to each other? You know what I'm saying? Like dead serious. Like, I'm not, you know, like I'm not trying to teach people to be antisocial. But honestly, I think we all need to be a whole lot less social. You know, all of those friends that you know ain't trying to do nothing but gossip about you and your man or you and your woman. Like, grow a different relationship with them. You ain't got to cut them off. But you can choose not to talk about what it is they want to talk about. And see if they get tired of talking to you. Because you ain't feeding them what they want to be fed. And that's gossip. Forget that. Like, dead serious. Don't be arguing with people these days. There ain't no time to be arguing with nobody about nothing that's gonna burn up here. There ain't no time to be losing oil in your lamp to fix anything that's gonna burn up here. Like, whatever it is, if it's not helping enhance your life on getting to heaven, forget it. If the people you love so much, if the people you around so much, if the people you got to work with so much, if they all are fighting for you to go to hell, I'm not saying, listen here, y'all. It is okay to have friends. It is okay to socialize. It is okay, you know what I'm saying, like to go places, do things, have events and stuff like that. But you have to watch what kind of conversations you get sucked in. That's all. That's what I mean by grow a different relationship with it. You got to watch what kind of talks people suck you in. Because some people are just trying to make your mind change channels. And once your mind change channels, and all of a sudden pursuing riches become the best, you know, thing in the world, then God is going to get pushed back and doing the work of the ministry. Because these are, like, we have walked into the last days. Like the last days are not coming. We already walked in them. Like, this is day 1 or 300. I don't know. All I know is that we're in it. It's not on the way. We're in it. Like, and I hate to sound like a madman. For everybody that just popped up on the video, I know I sound like a madman. I know I went crazy. I know I sound like I lost my mind. But this is true. All of this stuff going on right now is biblical, bro. From, you know, disease outbreaks to a cashless society to, well, wars on our doorstep, to, you know, politics on steroids. Like, I don't even know what to say that they are like these days. They just on steroids, man. Like, I mean, just imagine you know what I'm saying? Like, just draw out a politic and just kind of write him a little, you know, a few personality traits of a politic, and then just make that like times 10, you know. I don't know how you got to draw this man in your mind. Maybe make a Sims character, something like that, and then just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Make that like times 10. Oh, man. But other than that, I got to get out of here, guys. I don't mean to scare anybody, but I promise, like, this is worth being scared of. Like, dead serious. This is worth being scared of. It is worth being scared of, for real. Like there's no way I can just go back to business as usual. Not after putting all these pieces together like that. But not after going mad and clearly losing my mind and being a complete Bible radical dude, you know. Oh man. Oh man, you know, like there's so much more that can be said. I just can't say it all at once. I need to just get it out as it's being fed to me. But like the last days are not coming, guys. We have walked into them. Dead serious. A lot of people think that they have time. Ooh, this is what I needed to say before this video was over. I know a lot of people right now, and I know they think this way because of the words they say. And I know they think this way because of how they act out their lives, along with the words they say, along with the attitude they have. I can just kind of assume. Some people believe that they have time to get it right after they see the rapture happen. Some people are purposely living in sin, waiting to see the rapture happen so that they can take advantage of that second chance through the tribulation. Some people are intentionally living in sin until they see the Antichrist, because then they'll know that Jesus is real at that point. And they think that they have time to do whatever they want. And trust me, man, when you get saved, you will still be able to do whatever you want. It's just that you will want to do different things. So it's a life for a life. It's not a life in prison. Like, it's not a life as a hostage. It's a life for a life. You know what I'm saying? You can still do what you want. It's just that God will make you into somebody that want to do different things. So he ain't here to take your freedom away. It's just a life for a life. You know? But there's a lot of people that think that they have time to fool around until they see the Antichrist. Then they'll just, you know what I'm saying, put their little business away. That's what a lot of people believe. A lot of people also believe that God is going to just poof us in the air before everything get bad. I want you to know that that is not true. Those Left Behind movies do not tell you the Bible in order. The Bible never said when, in what period of the tribulation the rapture would take place. It never said so. So don't put words where it don't belong and cause yourself to go to sleep. Because the only person you'll be fooling is you. Because if you think that the man in the mirror or the man on TV ain't the Antichrist, if you think he ain't the Antichrist just because the rapture ain't here, and he's telling you to take his mark or you won't buy or sell, and you like, but I thought the rapture was supposed to happen before the real Antichrist got here, so this couldn't be the real mark of the beast, guys. Don't be fooled by all that stuff. Just be prepared all the time. And I'm not saying that there's no rapture. I'm not saying that either. All I'm saying is don't depend on doctrines that come from movies. You can't find that in the scriptures. You just can't. You can't depend on doctrines that come from music and movies and TV shows and novels and whatnot. You can't do that. That's not safe. And you can't just take a preacher's word for everything and that be all you ever hear about the word of God is what somebody else said. Every preacher I love to listen to, they end up going wrong somewhere. This is one guy I love listening. This is one guy I love listening to. He ended up preaching that having more than one woman is actually biblical. I'm like, you see, that's what I get for listening to him every single day. Now he over here preaching false doctrine. I had to turn him off. Another preacher I loved listening to had a whole lot of stuff to say that just was not true. Whole lot, man. Everybody goes wrong at some point. So you can't take just a man's word for it. I probably said something that wasn't, you know, like exactly by the book, and I probably wasn't even aware of the fact that I said it that way. And somebody can point that out. Like, I bet you, like, a person is always going to go wrong. So all you got is the word of God. And God don't inspire his word wrong. Oh, but people been translating that. It's the same stuff. It's just worded differently. And I'm here is the same thing as and I am here. Like, and I am hither. Like, okay, well, that was translated by man. No, you just want to live in sin. That's what it really is. You don't want to believe in Jesus because it's something you want in this world that you know that he might put his finger on and you don't want him to. That's what it really is. Just keep it real. I want my life the way I want it, not the way Jesus wanted. Keep it real, man. Like, stop making up all these roadblocks in your way of getting to heaven. Like, it's only you that's going to perish for it. So keep it real. Stop playing with yourself. Oh, God is still working on me. Those people are in the most dangerous spot. Those God is still working on me people. Nah, man, is the work actually being done? Has anything got done? Have you ever offered yourself to anything? Have you ever, picked up your cross? Have you ever tried to serve him? Have you ever, have you ever attempted Christianity? Like, for real, have you ever? And what does that look like? It doesn't look like dressing up on Sunday and that be it. Like, that's not what it looks like. It's not about what you participate in. It's about what you are on the inside. And if you never offer yourself over and say, God, like, you see that little problem I got there? Yeah, I want that one right there dealt with. That's the one that's in my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never pick up the Bible and study on the issues you're struggling with. Like, you never take time to just be intimate with God and to just be y'all two for hours, man. That's a beautiful thing, bro. Ain't nothing like that. I don't care what nobody say. Ain't no drug better than that. Ain't no sex better than that. Ain't no amount of money better than that. I would pay anything to walk with God, bro. I would pay anything for the presence of God to just be so strong in my life. I would dump everything out for that. Like, there was a period of time when I was backsliding, bro. And I remember just being so sad because I remember a day when I was so on fire for God and that all just disappeared. And I said to myself, I would give anything to go back in time. But instead of just sitting there just wishing, I actually just, did the things that I did at first. And I didn't have to go back in time. Like, I want y'all to listen carefully. We ain't got no time to be having a party. This is all over with, y'all. Everybody is going to wake up one day and their wealth is going to be dwindled down to zero. And the dollar bills they got stuffed in their couch are going to be worthless. And your heart will fail you of fear of what's coming. I want y'all to listen carefully. Your brothers and sisters that love God, make sure you stay in contact with them. Y'all might end up stuck together for the remainder of what's left here. Listen carefully, y'all. I mean, do the small things. Keep gas in your car. You never know when you got to get up and go. You just never know. Spend your money right. Don't spend your money on going out to the movies I mean, you can if you got it like that, but if you know you really ain't got it like that, it ain't no time to be trying to treat yourself. You know, treat yourself to being able to survive. That's what you do. A third TV in the house is not that serious, y'all. And I know I got stuff I like, you know, maybe a 10th camera lens ain't that big a deal either, Corey. You know, those are decisions I gotta make. I'm not just talking to other people and trying to make everybody else's life hard, you know, while I sit here and do what I want to. I want a new car. I don't think it's necessary. I want it a whole lot. And after God ripped my life to shreds and showed me exactly what time in life that we were living in, I stopped wanting everything. I don't want nothing else no more. As far as I'm concerned, I was on my way to success. That all got took from me. I realized how stupid it all was to be, you know, doing anything at the expense of the gospel. Like to be doing anything at the expense of warning your fellow man of what's to come. You know, most good things in our life can just be what they are. But let's not forget what's most important, y'all. We all got to get right with God. Because you might not even make it to see the, you know, like the real part of the end times. You might lose your life tonight. Don't be sitting around waiting on the Antichrist to show up to take Jesus for real. You might meet Jesus tonight. You never know. So, you know, I'm sorry to disturb everybody's morning and stuff like that, but I'm sure y'all probably don't. I mean, I'm sure y'all know that I really don't care what come out of my mouth half the time, and I should probably be a little bit more professional and whatnot. I've heard it a million times, but I think heaven and hell is more serious than you know, trying to put on a good look, you know. Trying to put on a good look, you know. But I hope you all have a good one. I pray that God wake you guys up like he woke me up. In Jesus' name, amen.